Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. Today being Monday, the 13th of September or the 7th of August in the 9th year of Chongal Guk. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족맨세 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 6. Our family, the owner of Chongal pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the Heavenly Parent and True Parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Trin if you could offer the opening prayer today. Thank you.
Good morning, Heavenly God and True Parents. We gather here in front of you as your children, as representatives of True Parents. We pray that in this time of confusion and in this time of desperateness, especially in this time where we're facing a new world, a change, we pray that not only our members and our family and friends and society in general, that we pray in this time to realize the importance of what it means to find God's heart amongst all this confusion about the virus and everything. May we really turn to know our original creator and to find true parents. We pray for our church community, especially our members and the younger ones, everyone who's preparing to get blessed and are preparing to create amazing families, and those who are expecting third generation, that we build our community really strong, that we can really unite together. And during this time of being in lockdown, we find the unity, and we find that even though that we're far apart, before we used to feel distance being interstate or across different nations, different countries, but now we really feel the truth in True Father's word, saying that we will be connected and united in the instant that our hearts connect. We pray that you open our hearts to receive your words this morning, as Reverend Yutaka guides us, that we receive these words deeply into our hearts, and that we may be able to live them out and fulfill our responsibility towards true parents. And in that we pray that someday that true family and true parents and true mother and true father will all be united together as one united family, and as a community become stronger in that, and that we all take up our own crosses and our responsibilities in fulfilling that. I'd like to report this prayer on behalf of all of us in True Parents' name. Jude.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So let's join together to greet Reverend Yutaka as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming this beautiful Monday morning. We are really grateful to have our gathering and offer our sincere prayer and devotion to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. So every moment, every day, there are many things. Really, let's do our best to go forward. So how was yesterday our Rally of Hope? Everyone attended, right? So yesterday was really great event. I prepared a photo, Think Tank 2022. So the speaker was really great speakers. So until now, there are many, already 7th Rally of Hope. So first Rally of Hope time, we are really curious and wonder under COVID situation, what kind of things, what kind of prevalence will be going on in the future. But first Rally of Hope, second Rally of Hope, third Rally of Hope, continuously. Mother initiated those Rally of Hope online event, then inviting one by one the leaders, political leaders or religious leaders or top leaders. And now, yesterday, seventh Rally of Hope was happened. So when during the event time or Rally of Hope time, even many speaker came and gave the speech before, but from Korean side, the many political leader didn't come so much. But yesterday we could see many representatives of Korean states came, and those are current political politician, the mayor of Seoul mayor, and also each state governor, current governor came and gave the speech. So this is really significant and important things. Even we are talking about unification between North and South Korea, and even internationally people try to support, but inside of Korea, if they didn't accept or didn't support, then it's not easy things. But yesterday we could see many Korean current governor attended and gave the speech. So this is one of the important things. And how was an international speaker? Very many powerful speaker gave and they give the speech. So first one is the President Trump, the United States President before, right? So he directly came and gave the speech to testify our true mother, and even also gave the appreciation for true father, how true father invested through Washington Times. And he himself also gave the mention that he is the one who are interested and invested so much for the movement between North and South Korea. And he is the one who met the North Korean president first time as the American president. So of course, when we see our political leader, someone love him, someone doesn't like him, right? Usually political leader is like that. But important things is even the personality or even character or even many kind of things. But he took the role as the position of the president of America. This itself is really important or meaningful things. Maybe if we see the personality, maybe you are better than him, I'm not sure, but as the position, as the some elected position itself, there is some kind of meaning, not some accidentally happen. That's why that kind of person who have position attended and directly testify. Especially America is one of the top nations in the world. Testify directly to mother, to father, and also show to cooperation and interest or investment between North and South Korea. This is also great things. And second one, also our Japanese Prime Minister, Prime Minister Abe. So in Japan, the Prime Minister will often change many times. But the Prime Minister Abe is the longest term Prime Minister in Japan's history, and still he is the popular. Many people also like and follow him, and he have an influence current Japanese political society, and he created many relationships with the head of states in all over the world and network. So where he gave and testify our true mother and show the support. So I'm, as a Japanese, I'm not sure after yesterday's speech how news media will talk about Prime Minister Abe in Japan. But anyway, even he knew what will be happen in Japanese political society, but he testify, he attended and he testified to the mother and cooperate our movement. This really one of the biggest determination or decision. And also another leader also same from Europe, India, and Philippines. Those are also influential person, and they are attended. And also the Prime Minister Hun Sen. So he accepted as the position of the chairman of the Peace Summit in the Korean Peninsula next year. So I talked with the Cambodia leader yesterday, Hajime-san, and he mentioned that because yesterday that Cambodia Prime Minister attended as a live, and he said the Prime Minister Hun Sen came almost 6 a.m. in the morning already, and he prepared about this summit, this Rally of Hope. And also he said Cambodia, 6 top national media directly broadcasted, and also besides that many broadcast, many TV stations broadcasted yesterday's event. That's why really Cambodia totally support and unite with True Mother. And Cambodia have also the communication, political relationship with North Korea and have an influence to another country. And Cambodia now leading one of the main country to support of this providence. So this is really great things. When we see our Prime Minister Hun Sen, what do you feel? Looks like Prime Minister become closer and closer to us, right? Every time calm, smile, and testify to mother. So we could see almost Cambodia is staying under the direct dominion of true mother. So really Cambodia. That's why when we see now our movement under true mother, how many head of states, current head of states or country, they are following true mother. So they are uniting true mother as the head of states, current head of states. This is not easy things because their life, political life is depends on the election, depends on the people. But now one by one from Asia, from Africa, from South Africa or South America, one by one, current prime minister, current head of states coming and support together our Trimada and also our movement. This we could see the changing many transition moment. Before we are waiting that moment, but even we invited many times our head of states, prime minister, is not easy things. But now already one by one they are coming, but not only small country, already top country in the world. Those head of states, formal, current, started to come and publicly proclaim, I am supporting UPF, supporting Mother Moon. So this is really, we could see big changing. So now Mother is standing the central position. And the end of yesterday, Mother gave the speech sharing about whole human history, Jesus, begotten, only begotten daughter, and sharing and testify about our heavenly parents. So there we could see many changing or transformation. Now toward 2022, the providence of heavenly unified Korea. This is not only the motto. We could see the changing and inside of Korean political atmosphere and also movement, we could see the changing. So now there is also the Think Tank 2022 forum. I think maybe next week. So 2022 top expert gathered together, discuss the process, how to organize the unification between North and South Korea. So we really need to pray and support internally and also support externally for unification between North and South Korea. So we could see differences were changing. So let's do our support and invest and really total offering and Johnson. So yesterday, Rally of Hope. Maybe later you can share your reflection also, what you feel and what you realize. You can share your feeling and your reflection through sharing time about Rally of Hope. So anyway, thank you for joining yesterday, our the Rally of Hope event. So let's continue. This is Mada gave the speech yesterday. So let's continue our Fundakwe, Mother of Peace. So now every Sunday, we will welcome special guest speaker and receive the message. So yesterday, Mr. Arai gave us great message about Songfa ceremony in 2012, right? Meeting with True Father and also realization. So that time, Mr. Arai visited to Korea 4 times, realize, receive the new message or a great message or realization about Heavenly Tribal Messiah and True Father Songfa and also the resurrection. When we thinking about True Father, relationship with True Father, this is important things. He came as the Messiah, he do as the true parents, and he went to the spiritual world. After Jesus went to spiritual world, many phenomena happened. So our True Father also same. After True Father went to spiritual world, many things also happening and working together from spiritual world, and Mother now leading the providence from the physical world. So when we reflect each providential moment, we could realize and we could learn again. So yesterday's message was great, and Mr. and Mrs. Harai have a many kind of experience and realization, and I hope you can share again and again your experience, your meeting with True Father and Mother, mission work, or many things. And also another brother and sister is also same. Sunday become the sharing moment. So I hope another brother and sisters also share your precious meeting and experience and realization. We can learn together. We can reflect together. So thank you, our Mr. Mrs. Arai, for your sharing and investment. So let's continue our autobiography. So last session we share about True Mother's visitation of Africa. So how was video? We could see the video. True Mother visited to Senegal and also Kore Island. How was Kore Island? Almost more than 500 years there was that slave system, and True Mother went that island directly and gave the liberation. And in the summit time, True Mother also strongly proclaimed. Do you remember that? Mother said, I am the mother of the universe, mother of peace. So this proclamation, do you think it's the easy proclamation? Proclaim, I am the mother of peace, mother of universe. This meaning is, she is talking, I am the mother, I am your mother, I am your parents. This proclamation is not only proclamation, proclaim that I am your mother, meaning is, I will take responsibility of your life. This is the mother's proclamation. Not only personally, not only just a small level, I am the mother of universe, mother of peace, mother of all humankind. This proclamation itself is not simple things. I will take care all children, all human beings, because you are my son and daughters. So mother went there and proclaimed. When we see ourselves, maybe last time I mentioned also, how many people do we take after for their life? How in front of how many people can we proclaim, I am your father, I am your mother? How many people can we say, can we take after the peoples? 10 people is also not simple things, right? My family, 5 people, 6 people is not easy. How about 10 people, 20 people, 100 people? Is not easy to proclaim, I am your father, I am your mother, I will take responsibility of your whole life. It's not simple things actually. but mother proclaim, and mother go and proceed and doing actual investment, and also love and embrace. So mother really love one by one from Africa, from Europe, or all over the world, and showing the model and really the heart as a true mother and as the mother of peace and also mother of universe. So through mother's investment determination, we could also reflect ourselves. How about myself? Can we do same way? Are we doing same way or not? So we could learn and realize many heart. So let's continue to the next part. The throngs of people taking photos of its historical sites easily overlook the reminders of this tragic past. Kore is a small island with the seaside easily reached by a 20-minute walk either to the east or west. During my tour, I saw that visitors were impressed by its many European-style buildings. One tourist remarked, walking along these cobblestone streets reminds me of European neighborhoods. Another said, these European houses are so beautiful and full of character. So maybe you could see the photo, and also you could see you could imagine the video. So if the person who doesn't know the history, maybe people say this is just a beautiful building or beautiful place. But how was that when we see the video? I think this is the Thailand. Anyway, please remember that video one, that place. So if people doesn't know the history, just they see, this is a European beautiful building, but totally different things. I looked at the beautiful houses built for the European slave traders, and the contrast with the slave camp located barely 100 feet behind them could not have been greater. The house of slaves is a two-story building. The slave traders lived on the second floor, while inconstant Africans captured and brought there from throughout the continent were kept on the first floor, while waiting to be boarded onto slave ships. What is now a tourist site was the epicenter of the West African slave trade. The holding cells were like caves, dark, damp, with no natural sunlight, and so low and cramped that one has to bend down to enter. So we could see, reading the True Mother's sharing, we could imagine that how was that building? The slave building and also the trader building looks like some different floor. Second floor may be beautiful, and first floor is like kind of a prison. So there is no light and not beautiful place, not good air and dark place. So this is really not room. And how many people were staying that place? They are just waiting for being sent to the another country. One time they go there, they cannot come back again. Most visitors and dignitaries tour the second floor, but I spent my time in the slave cells on the first floor. The slave house was built with stones and contained cramped, gloomy cells. At the end of a narrow corridor with cell on either side was the infamous door of no return. The men, women, and children who went through this door onto slave ships sailing for the Americas were never seen again by their families. So when mother visited that place, especially mother visited to the first floor, the several cells where those slaves were captured. Mother visited there and remember or imagine and pray for those persons. Holding onto the frame of the door of no return, I shed tears along with the mayor of Kore and everyone in our party as I prayed for Africa to be freed from the pain and resentment caused by slavery. As I stood at the door, I could hear the cries and weeping of countless Africans taken against their will. So during 500 years slave history, how many people were brought that island? This island is really small island, and how often the slave ship also came that place. So men, women, children, do you think they distinguished their place and treatment? Maybe they just put one place, everything. They don't care their men, women, or children, or their identity, or their privacy, doesn't care. Maybe they put everyone one place and just treat, not as the human beings, as the animal or things. And also they don't have any concept of the family. So we could imagine how their agony, there also the grief, heart, or sadness was in that place. So mother said, as I stood at that door, I could hear the cries and weeping of countless Africans taken against their will. So we could see that. My grief increased when I witnessed tourists laughing and joking as they passed by the slave cells. But I also saw families frown and sigh in sadness at the sight of these reminders of human cruelty. One mother leaned over a red brick staircase and offered a tearful prayer. She seemed hopeful that her prayer might contribute to healing centuries of cruelty and misery. So many kind of tourists visited that place. Some doesn't care, but also some of them could understand and pray for them and tear for them together. The person who can know the pain of others, the person who can shed tears for the painful person and for the history. So mother could feel those person and those things. So you could see this photo. Mother went there and sprinkled the holy salt and liberate that place. Liberating those who have ascended differs from comforting those who are alive on earth. Both are possible through the earnest prayer of God's only begotten daughter, who carries the mission to save humanity, facing the silent, grieving walls of the house of slaves. I forever broke the miserable chains of Africa's oppression. So mother, true mother, is the true mother of the universe. And true mother is not only the mother for the people on this earth, mother also mother of the person who went to the spiritual world. So when mother visiting to those kind of place, how much mother's feeling is serious pain and also heavy. Beloved son and daughter, more than few thousand, more than 100,000 people gather here, cry and shed tears and shouting, and they are brought to the way of death. How mother could feel those persons' painfulness and also the heart. That's why the mother went there, really comfort them, pray them, and really liberate them. Mother take responsible their spirit to the next world. This is the mother. This is the really mother of universe. That's why the mother offer the serious prayer that place. The anguished cries of Africans should be heard and their plight embraced. Humankind's long, painful history of exploitation and deprivation of freedom must come to an end. This was my motivation as I traveled thousands of miles to come to Gore Island and walk in this still pitiable and sorrowful land of Africa. Having seen the slave cells and the door of no return on the first floor, I did not take the stairs going to the second floor, where the slave owners lived. I instead made my way to the county yard. There, together with Korea Island Mayor Augustine Senghor and his wife and many local officials, I offered a prayer for the liberation of all Africans who died as victims of slavery. So when Trimada heard this story about slave history, what did she feel? When mother visited that place, what did she feel? So mother also could feel the human history, foreign human history from first ancestor until now. And the mother also could feel Heavenly Parents' painfulness, all human beings' painfulness, and mother felt that this is my pain, this is my history, and mother offered the prayer. A short walk from there brought us to a small square. Along one of the yellow painted walls were several small plaques honoring eminent leaders who had visited the island, including Nelson Mandela, Barack Obama, Mother Teresa, and John Paul II Jr. too, as they unveiled a plaque with my name and read the inscription. Mayor Senghor said, "This doesn't fully embody how grateful and indebted we feel, but it will stand for eons as an enduring symbol of the precious heart you have brought here." So many people visited before, but the True Mother's visitation was the special visitation to offer the liberation that place. So Maya gave the appreciation to True Mother and made the name card plaque there. Many among the crowd expressed their thanks to me for liberating Africa from the weight of 500 years of suffering. It was a heartfelt token of appreciation from the people of Senegal, and I felt the continent. Following the unveiling, the little angels moved everyone to tears with beautiful Senegalese songs they had learned and rehearsed over many hours. As we made our way to the pier to depart, I told the mayor I wanted to leave a gift behind that would benefit the whole island. When we reached the pier, we could hear the sound of a motorboat approaching. It was a water ambulance I had prepared as a gift to Gore Island for passenger and emergency patient transport. So when Tirumada came this place, liberate for the person, ancestor, or spiritual world, and even for their descendants, invest Tirumada's heart and invite little angels. Little angels also offer the beautiful song with happy heart or comfort or consulting heart, and mother gave also the gift and in that place. And christened it with the name Victoria. It reflected our common hope that although innumerable lives have been lost over the centuries, no other will be lost for the lack of a medical board. In Africa, the plight of many remains bleak despite abundant natural resources and wondrous scenic beauty, poverty is rampant. Nevertheless, Africans are kind, compassionate, and diligent. God has called the people of Africa to shine as bright, immutable, heavenly creations. Africans make me feel the heart of our Creator, our heavenly parents. When Mother visited Africa and organized a summit and visited Gore Island, and Mother felt directly the history of Africa, culture of Africa, and heart of Africa, and also the painfulness and agony, and also the feeling of God and heavenly parents. And in the same time, Trimada could feel that God's desires, God's investment, and God is hoping to the people of Africa. There are many great things in Africa. God created each person as God's son and God's daughter. So last time we watched the video, the last part of video, Mother also mentioned that you are children of God. Please depart. Now is the new start of Africa. So from now on, you are the heavenly Africa. Please depart. Create the new history. There was many painful history before. Maybe there is many suffering life in the now, but in the future, heavenly parents, true parents stay together with you. So let's create new nation. Let's create new continent. Let's create heavenly unified Africa. So those message, how is the really encouraging word and really loving and the blessing message. Mother could understand the sad African history, but pray for the people of Africa, liberation, and this heart is also same heart to liberate the people who are suffering in the world. Heavenly unified Korea, heavenly unified world. This providence is not just one moment providence. Really, this is the restore the whole human history to return back to God and to create the new history and new departure and new moment. We are here together with our true parents. We are actually the chosen person from God, chosen person which we are receiving the desire of God and hope of God. So we will continue together with those our heavenly parents' heart and true parents' heart as heavenly parents, son and daughter, filial children, patriot, saint, and also God's holy son and daughters. Today we share about mother's autobiography, especially talking about Africa. So that this place is far from our place, but they are our children. And also last time Reverend Stone also shared, still this slave history is going on in some place. That's why we really pray and find a way and to really become one family under God with our happy parents and true parents. So today also beautiful Monday, the new beginning of the new week. Let's put our sincere devotion. Let's create the beautiful moment. Thank you once again for joining morning devotion. Let's have a good time. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka. You're really bringing to light our true mother's words and to really help us connect together. Just a couple of things. I want to let others talk more, but just a couple of things. One about the Rally of Hope. I noticed that there were 9 Korean leaders in the beginning, the governors and mayors and presidents of areas and that. And I noticed that the guest speakers kept changing. There was many guest speakers coming and going, and then the surprise with President Abe, right at the end, he was there. But I noticed that one president that was on the list in the beginning wasn't there, and that was the president from Niger. And I realized that if all of them had turned up, there would have been 9 world leaders. So there would have been 9 Koreans and 9 world leaders, but for some reason one didn't turn up. And that reminded me of the time when we went to Korea to offer crowns, and we were standing there offering crowns from Solomon's and Vanuatu, and then there's all the, I remember seeing all the crowns presented. On one side was all the crowns from Korea, and then all the crowns from around the world. And I had the same sort of sense as that time that, you know, the world and Korea were truly becoming one, connected. And I felt like through the world leaders and the Korean leaders that Korea was becoming connected, and that all the conditions that Mother has made and members have made have actually been realized and fulfilled. Like the unification of North and South Korea is not, I got the feeling that it's not something that still we have to make conditions for. It's already been done, and it will just happen in, because all the foundations are done. And this rally, I got this sense that, truly the world is connected with Korea. And so I was very hopeful, like, oh, okay, Korea will be united and it will happen soon. Just like everyone got surprised with the Berlin Wall going down, but they'll be equally surprised that Korea just smoothly connects together. And the other part to do with Africa, I'm still remembering the testimony of Mary as she explained about more details that went on in Africa. And the thing that struck me was how she said that the Africans who came before Mother liberated, they felt like the heaviness and the sadness and the weight and the depression and the anguish. And then when Mother liberated, and all of them went and became absolute good spirits, and then came back to help the nation. And then she said how those same people who came again to visit said that the whole island was different. It was bright, and the weight was gone, and so much hope. And then I reflected on now these suffering spirits who long to return back to their home, because many of those slaves died overseas, and then now they were free, and they were absolute good spirits, and they're free to come back to bring Africa, raise it up to be a Chongalguk nation. So I felt great hope that these absolute good spirits are really involved in transforming Africa, and really to build it into a Chongalguk nation. And wasn't Africa the first nation to be called the heavenly nation? I think Africa was the first nation to be called the heavenly nation, and that's because of Mother liberating it, and then giving that responsibility that I feel that they were so eager and waiting to do. So these impressions I had when Remy Yutaka was reading, and I really felt hope that Africa will become a great nation, but with a deep heart of love. It won't go into sadness anymore. So yeah, okay, there are some thoughts and reflections I had. Thank you. Open it up. Yeah, Doug, go ahead.
Yeah, in line with what you just said, John, I was really quite impressed that the speakers list did change because the subject of Asia was highlighted, and I think adequately so. And to have Africa and Asia mixed together, it would be a little overwhelming because both stories are so big. So I was really quite impressed, especially when what really moved me was when the Cambodian president opened his talk. He highlighted it by mentioning that this moment reminds him so much of what happened in his country and is now happening in Afghanistan. That in itself set the tone for the whole thing, because this whole thing was an Asian moment. Afghanistan on the very western part of Asia, and what we were addressing with the unification of North and South Korea. So I was really quite amazed that we could focus just on that continent and all its sort of its troubles, you know. And what a beautiful service it was yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Wright, go ahead.
Move that paper, Douglas.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you yesterday, your patient, my message. And, so yesterday I was so excited, Radio Hope, and so many. Then I think especially Hun Sen, how he seriously supported, and I look at his career, and because I think we had some negative kind of image, but when look at his career, he's really amazing, quite not only PM, before PM, and he has a lot of experience, I think, from young age, foreign minister, and also he's incredible. He built up that kind of career seriously. I think that's fine. But also, just in my message, just talk about DD. So many, people sacrificed that kind of holy war, and also Cambodia, more than 2 million people sacrificed. He's represented. Then connect with to Mother Tupian, God Providence, and I was really great. And so I think he found he's a prime minister of the nation, but I think he can see True Mother is a kind of mother of peace more than internationally standing like a true heart. So also African brother and sister can see to the father, to the mother is really truly they express your love, not the judgment, not the truly. I think African people also can find out their original value as a truly son and daughter, and they cry. So that point really like easier, a lot of sacrifice. Also the African people. I think one of the important things is that true parents show God's love and true love to all. And anyway, I impressed yesterday so much. Thank you. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Yes, Janine, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, it was really moving to hear the speakers yesterday, and I was really happy that the president of Cambodia spoke about the Khmer Rouge and really addressed it. And and kind of separated, like, you know, you could see, yeah, that he was, he'd acknowledged it, but that it was different, because when I was there, some of the people kind of thought that it was the same kind of government. So it was really good that he mentioned that. Yeah, just the other thing this morning, when Reverend Yutaka went in this speech, when the gate, that the door of no return, it reminded me of when I went to the demilitarized zone, and there's a bridge of no return, and where people from North Korea were coming down, and at that point they could either go back to go down to South Korea, or stay in North Korea. It was yeah, it was called the Bridge of No Return, just like that door. And I felt that yeah, especially for anyone who had that experience, could feel more deeply what the Africans, the feeling that they had of yeah, no return to their home. And yeah, anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Janine. Yeah. We have time for one more person. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Anyway, a bit of a controversial view, but African people went to America, the fortunate ones, leaving a very difficult circumstance in Africa, actually, and began to help build a foundation for the second coming in America at the very grassroots level. Their life was very harsh, but you know, even now in America, it's those African ministers who are the first ones to follow two parents. So that's great fortune for them. So yeah, the descendants of those people who were slaves became very fortunate to live in America, great democratic nation that could help the Messiah, you know, in the last days. So yeah, there's a good fortune in that, even though it sounds difficult. Actually, you think of India with 1.some billion people, and also China, how that is today. But it can be Africans who can meet the Messiah in America. So those who were taken away, it seemed very harsh, but I've lived with African people in the bush, and their life is extremely tough. Polygamy, and yeah, it's very tough. So yeah, so anyway, somehow their fortune changed anyway to meet two parents in America, and one of them could become President of America, you know. So it was a very difficult, harsh time, but anyway, human history has been one of terrible atrocities everywhere. So we think about, you know, we look at it from our perspective today, you know, oh, it's just terrible what happened, but that was life in those days. It was harsh. Everybody treated each other harshly. And but anyway, we're living in a new time now. So the amazing thing about True Mother is she probably knows the difficulties in Africa, but she don't judge. She just loved African people, and don't look at the problems, but just look at them and give them so much hope, you know. So yeah, I know. Yeah, anyway, Mother's amazing to really forgive and just look at the goodness and give hope to everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Now we've got two people who want to go up, and we've come to the already over time. And these people love to talk. If people are happy to let them speak, we start with Elise. Go ahead. Getting a lot of nods ahead, so fine. Go ahead, Elise, and then after that, Margaret.
Yeah, sorry. I want to be short. I have to come. Anyway, since True Mother biography, and when I was reading how she said how her grandmother told her when she's just about started to speak, God is your father, and that was really such an incredible moment for me of really resurrecting my heart, because I could see at the same time my start of life with my suffering grandmother, and she was the only praying one in my family, and so I connected love with suffering all my life. So that time when I had to join, because my mother wanted to become a nun, but then didn't work out. So then I felt I was so pushed, really. And it was in the time when even we didn't say true father, there was master, and this was 74, 73. I mean, I was witnessed all the time years before. Anyway, but what I really wanted to say, how and it was such a difficult, so struggling for me to really understand, to really know about true parents. But the reading to Mother, when she said, I heard about God is my father, and from that moment she communicated with God, and I felt this is exactly what Eve couldn't do. So through Mother we can gain rebirth because of that, because she shows us how she lived with God every moment, every minute in her life. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for your mother, who it takes time to go through to Mother's book through every moment, because yeah, that's what I want. It revives my heart. It brings my heart to rebirth, because I never thought I'm qualified, or I never could even imagine a life with God, because I was so terrified of Satan's. I mean, I knew Satan wanted to destroy my life, and I can see that now more and more. So it was so difficult, really, for me to have hope that I actually can do something for God. It was such an overwhelming task. So thank you so much also for Mr. Wright taking this time to really show us the incredible foundation to Father Late. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And sorry to take your time.
Yeah, thank you, Elise. Okay. Go ahead, Margaret.
Good morning, everyone. I was moved that the Korean leaders were the first to share, and I could not help but think of Yonanim, the UPF director now in Korea, who has done a great job in getting all these governors to come on the Rally of Hope. It really gave me hope. And to have these major leaders like Trump and Abe come on really was to me a sign that our membership, especially on the UPF leadership, has really moved up to have good relationship with the top tier of the countries. So that was really a hopeful sight and hearing about that. Also, to conclude with Cambodia, the point that inspired me from his speech was national ownership, that they have gone through troubles, they know what it's like, and they did it. And to connect it with Afghanistan taking place right now. So I really felt that, you know, the Koreans are taking ownership, and Cambodia, who is now willing to offer to be a secretariat, it's really hopeful sign of leadership coming up and taking a stand, not just saying thank you, and then that's it. But so, and lastly, when Mother commissioned Wonju and Mr. Yoon to start the citizenship activism in Korea, really inspired me. I really felt like I want to go to Korea. I think worldwide membership should go to Korea and help make this dream come true. This is the excitement of that we have a nation that God can dwell. To me is worth every effort that we can master at this time of the providence. Politics come and go, economics come and go, but God needs to come and dwell in a nation. And that, so overall, yesterday was very hopeful. I could feel Mother giving a warning to Korea. And so it inspired me to want to reach out to the Koreans here in Palau as well, and really have a determination to break through with them. And fortunately, it's not a big community, but even with small community of Koreans, they're tough. We've already visited one Deegan and talked to. So, but in all, I really feel like our movement has matured, you know, and now is really bringing the big guns in, and we have to believe that God is with us, and through Father and Spirit world is with us if we, and lastly, on a local level, we invited the Vice President and she quickly responded and said, yes, I will be on. And we asked her to also reach out to the current president, and she said, yes, she will. So these are the signs of the times. I feel it's happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everyone. It's time for us to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just share the screen. And let's pray together. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. And see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
So,
Means funny doesn't change.